really covets the memory, appreciates the visual of this icon, and probably the greatest wrestling icon.
In a world where action stars are larger than life and wrestlers are modern-day gladiators, few moments in cinematic history bridged the gap as powerfully as Rocky III. It was there that Sylvester Stallone introduced the world to Hulk Hogan, not just as a wrestling icon, but as a silver screen phenomenon. Now, in the wake of Hogan's tragic passing, Stallone has broken his silence with an emotional tribute that honors not only their shared history, but the legacy of a man who became a symbol of strength, charisma, and unforgettable entertainment. It was 1982 when Stallone, riding the wave of success from Rocky and Rocky II, sought to expand the universe of his beloved boxing franchise. He wanted spectacle, power, and something unexpected. That's when a young Terry Bollea, known then simply as Hulk Hogan, walked onto the set and into movie history. Stallone cast him as Thunderlips, a flamboyant, over-the-top wrestling champion who challenges Rocky Balboa in a charity match. What unfolded was one of the most iconic fight scenes in movie history, a brutal, hilarious, and theatrical display of strength versus strategy, of brute force versus boxing technique. But more than that, it was a passing of the torch, one legend recognizing the potential of another. From the moment I met him, I knew Hulk was something special, Stallone wrote in a recent Instagram tribute. He wasn't just a wrestler, he was a force of nature. Thunderlips wasn't just a character, it was a preview of what was to come. Their on-screen brawl may have ended with Rocky tossing Thunderlips over the ropes. But off-screen, a friendship was born. Stallone and Hogan remained close throughout the decades, sharing a mutual respect that only men who've walked the razor's edge of fame and pressure can truly understand. Over the years, Stallone would continue to support Hogan's ventures both in and out of the wrestling ring, and in times of scandal or struggle, Stallone never hesitated to speak up for his friend, always acknowledging the humanity behind the Hulkamania. People saw the bandana, the muscles, the slogans. Stallone said, "But I saw the man, saw the heart." In a statement released after Hogan's passing, Stallone's words were raw, heartfelt, and steeped in decades of camaraderie. "I am devastated." Hulk wasn't just a co-star or a friend, he was a brother. We shared something rare, a moment in film history that changed both of our lives. He was electric, he was fearless, and most of all, he was real. Stallone continued by reflecting on their early days on set, recalling Hogan's nervousness before filming his first scene. He kept asking, "Am I doing this right, Sly?" I laughed. I told him, "Brother, you were born to do this," and I was right. He also acknowledged Hogan's role in elevating Rocky III, helping introduce professional wrestling to mainstream audiences in a way that had never been done before. Without Hulk, there is no Thunderlips. And without Thunderlips, Rocky III would have been missing its soul. He brought energy, unpredictability, and a wild charm that audiences loved. While Hogan was already making waves in wrestling by 1982, his role in Rocky III catapulted him into a new realm of fame. Suddenly, Hulkamania wasn't just confined to the squared circle, it was part of pop culture. His unforgettable entrance, blonde mustache, larger-than-life persona, became a staple of American entertainment throughout the 80s and 90s. Stallone often credited Hogan's appearance in Rocky III as a pivotal moment not just for the film, but for wrestling as a whole. "We introduced the world to the idea that wrestlers could be movie stars, that strength and showmanship could coexist with heart and story," Stallone said in a past interview. Hulk paved the way. As fans mourn the loss of Hulk Hogan, Stallone's tribute serves as a reminder of the kind of man Hogan truly was, not just the icon in the ring, not just the character on screen, but the loyal friend behind the scenes. "Gave us permission to believe in the impossible," Stallone said. "To believe that one man could fight giants, defy the odds, and still have time to tell you to say your prayers and eat your vitamins." That was Hulk. That was my friend in the days following Hogan's passing. Stallone has reportedly been in touch with Hogan's family, offering condolences and support. A private memorial service is expected, and Stallone is likely to attend, sources say. The story of Hulk Hogan and Sylvester Stallone is more than just a tale of two stars. It's a profound chapter in pop culture history. It is a story of strength, resilience, fame, and above all, brotherhood. Their connection began on the set of Rocky III, but it grew far beyond the scripted scenes. Together, they embodied an era when muscle-bound heroes ruled both the ring and the screen. Now, as Sylvester Stallone mourns the passing of his longtime friend, the world pauses to remember not just the legend of Hulk Hogan, but the unbreakable bond the two shared. In 1982, Rocky III brought together two towering forces. Sylvester Stallone, already a household name thanks to his creation of the underdog boxing hero Rocky Balboa, was looking to inject fresh energy into the franchise. Enter Hulk Hogan, a then rising star in the world of professional wrestling, known for his imposing physique and larger-than-life persona, cast as Thunderlips, the ultimate male. Hogan stepped into the film and immediately stole the spotlight with his sheer charisma and physical presence. Their scene together was brief but unforgettable. Rocky vs. Thunderlips wasn't just a fictional charity match, it was a spectacle. It blurred the lines between sports entertainment and Hollywood drama, setting the tone for what would become the golden age of crossover fame. That moment laid the foundation for a real-life friendship that would span decades. What many fans don't know is that behind the scenes, Stallone and Hogan developed a genuine bond. Their mutual respect extended far past movie sets and red carpets. They came from similar molds, working-class roots, dreams of greatness, and a relentless drive to make it. Stallone, the actor-writer who carved out his place in Hollywood through grit and self-belief, saw something familiar in Hogan, the wrestler-turned-superstar who turned every arena into a coliseum over the years. The two would support each other's careers and personal milestones. Whether it was cheering each other on during high-profile appearances or offering words of encouragement in quieter moments, their friendship was built on authenticity. When asked about Hogan in interviews, Stallone often spoke not just about the performer, but about the man, kind-hearted, humble, and fiercely loyal to his friends. Following the heartbreaking announcement of Hulk Hogan's passing, Stallone released an emotional tribute that left fans around the world in tears. His words weren't polished for the press, they were raw, personal, and drenched in sorrow. He was Thunderlips, he was Hulk Hogan, he was a legend, Stallone said. We'll miss him every single day. Rest easy, brother. In those few sentences, Stallone captured what millions of fans felt. Hogan wasn't just a character in spandex or a booming voice behind a mic. He was a symbol of strength when people felt weak, of hope when the odds felt insurmountable. And Stallone, himself a beacon of perseverance, understood the weight of that symbol more than most. It's easy to think of Hogan and Stallone in isolation, a titan in his own right. Together, they created a legacy that fused wrestling and cinema, fantasy and reality, muscle and heart. They showed that the worlds of sports and film could collide in a way that inspired generations. Rocky III didn't just introduce a new character. It introduced a new kind of storytelling. One where the lines between the ring and the big screen blurred, where every punch had meaning, and where heroes weren't born, they were built. Hogan's appearance in the film elevated professional wrestling in the public eye. And Stallone's vision gave Hogan the platform to become a global phenomenon. Their collaboration paved the way for countless others. The Rock, John Cena, and Dave Bautista are just a few names who followed in Hogan's footsteps, transitioning from wrestling fame to Hollywood success. Without Rocky III, that path might have looked very different. Hulk Hogan's passing marks the end of an era. For millions, he wasn't just a wrestler. He was their childhood hero, the one who told them to say their prayers and eat their vitamins. He was the unstoppable force who stood tall against villains, both real and imagined. Stallone, he was more than just a co-star. He was a brother in arms. In times of grief, it's easy to focus on what we've lost. But Stallone's heartfelt goodbye reminds us to also remember what we gained. A lifetime of memories, stories that uplifted us, and a legacy that will live on in arenas, film reels, and the hearts of fans across the world. Rest in power, Hulk. Hogan, the world is a little dimmer without you, but your light will never truly fade. You were more than just a hero in the ring, you were a hero to us all. You inspired strength in the weak, courage in the timid, and belief in the impossible. As Stallone so perfectly said, he was Thunderlips, he was Hulk Hogan, he was a legend. And I will miss him every single day. Rest easy, brother. Rest in power, Hulk Hogan. Two titans, one bond, forever etched in time.